just crawling through traffic on the motorway here in the UK, and I started thinking about where a lot of other agencies go wrong. And I actually think that most agencies that we cross paths with are selecting the wrong creators, that are operating within the wrong markets, and it's essentially making it way harder than it needs to be. If you pick out the right creators that are a part of the right market, you can have a much easier time, both vertically and horizontally scaling. Now, I think the most untapped market is fetish. Now, in the last 6 months, I would say fetish has become more popular because we've shared a lot of our success with fetish creators, specifically trans creators. But I actually think there is still a hell of a lot of untapped potential within the space. Now, the reason why fetish is much more effective than anything else is because you can dominate market share. If you think about how many trans creators you know, or how many super tall creators you know, how many dwarf creators you know, or anything that is unique physiologically or in society, and you compare that number with how many creators you know that are girl next door or are really any typical niche that we would see, you can dominate market share because there's less competition. And actually, let's use our psychology for a second to work out again, why are guys on this platform? Well, they're looking for something that they haven't really got in real life. They can go and meet escorts, they can go and see girls on the street, they can go and watch porn. They can already find a lot of what we would call normal creators, but they don't get the opportunity to find these fetish creators in the same way. So if we've got an increase in demand and a reduced supply, then by definition we have a gap in the market. So fetish for me is without doubt where your time and attention needs to be, because not only is it making more sense from a market share standpoint, but it's much easier to create a one-of-one. Now, I believe if you have a one-of-one creator, you will make more money. The same way that if you have a one-of-one car, a one-of-one item of clothing, a one-of-one shoe, it will always make more money and sell for a much higher price than anything else, because they don't have a choice. If they're interested, they will have to buy your product. So at all times, in any realm of OnlyFans management, we want to be trying to create one-of-one scenarios, and fetish is going to be the easiest way to do that from the creator standpoint. Now, marketing fetish is also relatively easy because, again, it's so untapped. And the key things to take note of here when it comes to fetish marketing are Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, which are all platforms that you're familiar with. So it's not something that you have to learn a new strategy for either. Yes, there's going to be a benefit to using things like streaming sites, FetLife, potentially some dating apps, especially things like Grindr. But ultimately, it's a very small percentage. And even if you were to tap into the paid ad space, again, it's a small percentage of overall revenue generating for any sort of fetish creators. So you don't have to learn any new skills. If you understand the basic principles of Reddit, Twitter, Instagram traffic, and you've got a creator that's essentially a one-of-one, it's free money.